afternoon, fret friends. Now we have a lovely guitar on the bench. Well, it should be a lovely guitar. It isn't, and it belongs to a friend. And he's not going to be a friend much longer if he sends me anything like this again. So, that's just a joke, by the way. Look at this, and I know already. That's a LAG. From France, a Tramontane T70 DC-E. So, I would say T70 DC. So D for dreadnought, C for, could be a cedar top, and E for electric. Or it could be cutaway. Ah ha ha. So dreadnought, cutaway, electric. There you go. So that's what it is. And I already know I'm wearing a lag t-shirt because I am. And it's just coincidence. It's not coincidence. Well, it is coincidence. There you go. I'm wearing a lag shirt. I offered this lag shirt to the client actually. He's a bit smaller than me. And I asked him what size he was, and he says, blah, 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 blah. I said, that's a shame, I got a brand new lag t-shirt. I got this off eBay, cheap. Anyway, this guitar, what's up with it? Well, I'll tell you what, it's disgusting. It needs cleaning, and it needs a setup. Now, my friend, I'm not going to mention his name, because I'll show him up, but he has had this for 5 years, and he plays at church like me. Lovely lad. And he says, I've only cleaned it once in the 5 years he's had it. So he's probably cleaned this the day he got it, when he got some fingerboards on it, and not since. The fingerboard is absolutely gross. It's got all that horrible stuff that we don't like on it, all dead, all sweat and finger gunk and all that. And I've what's the word? I've reprimanded him for the state of that, and he says, "Yeah, I'm really embarrassed about that. Blah 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 blah. I don't know how to fix it." I said, "Well, you know, I'll do it this time, and I'll film everything for you, and then you can go and do it yourself." But there's nothing stopping going to Google, was it? Having a look. So yeah, I've got to get all that grime off there. Give it a setup. The action's a little bit high. The nut slots are a little bit high as well, so we need to cut into these nut slots. We need to get the action a little bit lower. Maybe we could take a little bit off the saddle, not too much. So I don't like removing stuff from underneath saddles because this one's quite low. I've played it, sounds fantastic. It's got a EQ system on there, and it's a tuner built in, as they should. Lovely, lovely guitar. Great for its price point. I love the headstock. They've got this little bit on top, it's a bit more like an embossed situation there. It's not actually risen up. It's fantastic. It's got no 150 written on the back on a sticker there. Don't know what that is. But yeah, lovely guitar. And I'll probably enjoy setting this up, but I won't enjoy doing this fingerboard. So that's all it needs as far as I know. Don't know if it needs any fretwork. It better not do, because I'm doing this as a freebie. I'm not charging him for it. The reason I'm not charging him for it is, he's only a young lad, he's just gone to uni. And I do all the church guitars, and I charge the guys, you know, I charge them what it is. I knock them a little bit off sometimes, but I charge them then. But the kids, I don't charge them. And I know he's 18, he's at uni, he's not a kid. But the last one I did my friend's son, again, I did his, and I had him round here, and I set his guitar up for nothing. So when it came to this one, I says, look, I'm going to charge you the same as I charge the other lad, nothing. But that is not going to be including fretwork. So I'm hoping there's not going to need any fretwork on this. Shouldn't need any. It looks to be a very well built guitar, very nice looking guitar. The reason I'm not whipping the strings off now is I need to go and plug it in and make sure everything works all right. I'm sure it does, but once that's done, I'm going to get strings off. We're going to come back, I'm going to get a camera right close in. I'm going to show you this disgusting crud on this fingerboard. I'm going to be wearing gloves, probably a bio mask as well at the same time, and we'll crack on with it, get it all cleaned up, get it set up, and get everything that's loose, get it tightened up. Everything that needs cutting will get cut to the right height or depth. And we'll bang a new set of beautiful dragon skin strings on there. My chosen, it's my string of choice, the DR dragon skin ones. Absolutely fabulous, handmade in America. They wee all over Elixirs as far as I'm concerned. And we'll do that. So I will come back and give you an update as and when. So don't get me started on how gross this guitar is now. I have some brand new gloves. It's not very often that I have to don the gloves. I do obviously when fret polishing, but this, with this thing, I'm gloving both hands up. These are good gloves. I've got these recommended by a tattooist friend who she uses these gloves all the time, and they are really, really good. And there you go. And we're not going to faff about. I've loosened the strings. I've taken the strap off, which is held on by the Grolsch bottle top insert type affairs there. I'm just going to move those out of the way. He can put them back on himself because it was not easy getting them off. And I've loosened the strings, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from this end. because they're gross, proper horrible. So we're going to take them out and we're going to wrap them up and get rid of them. But we're going to wrap them a certain way, and you wouldn't do this without gloves. And there you go. And these have not been changed since it had them, I'll tell you that. These have been on the guitar for the life of the guitar, I'd imagine, because they are underneath, they are black. Dead skin and all that horribleness that's on the guitar as well. I'm not going to embarrass him anymore because he knows how disgusting this is. Look at this, let me show you this. We're going to get in there and we're going to scrape that off with something. Let's just have a... I've got a Stanley blade. I don't want to even put a Stanley blade on it. I have a Stanley blade right here. Let's just have a look, see what we're messing about with here. There you go. That's what we're messing about with here. Look, that is disgusting. Yuck. So we're going to get all that off. I'm not doing it today. I'm not touching this guitar today. I'm going home in a minute. I've done a few guitars today. But yeah, so there's all that to do. We're going to nip these out. Get the dead strings off there. Like I said, we're going to stick a lovely set of DR dragon skin strings on here when we've done. Oh, that string's dropped inside, typical. You don't want that happening. That doesn't want to come out. Of course it doesn't. Right. Should come out now. Oh, these are like very tight set of strings in here. But I hate these because they cut into the wood when you have them. It's not because they're too tight, it's because they've not been changed for all that time. I'm going to go over to my dog in a minute. There you go, there's the two, that's what colour the string should be. And that's what colour it is. Fantastic, look at that. So right, we've got one piece of string that's fallen inside the guitar. Fabulous. The bridge, yeah, so okay, the saddle's okay. There you go, get in there with that. Can I get my hand in there? Just about. There you go, so that's that bit out. Very good, so you can get your hand quite in there. Right, okay, no shim beneath the pickup, which is good. So the pickup's all fine and intact there. So this needs a good clean. Got to get all this crap off. I'm going to, be a nice job for me in the morning, won't it? When I come back here, if I come back tomorrow. I don't know if I come back tomorrow or not. I might just leave this till Monday. Because I've got a very busy weekend. My wife's flying back from Canada Friday night. I've got to pick her up Saturday morning from Gatwick. So I'll be up early doors. Driving down there, me and the dog. Picking my wife up. And I would not want to be working when I've been up at daft hours and driving to Gatwick and back from Nottingham, well from North Nottingham. So fortunately I have a wonderful car to drive down in. My car is an absolute pleasure to drive. I have an old Jag S-Type, which is fantastic. It more or less drives itself and it's so comfortable. It make the journey more pleasant. I'll have the dog in the back. He'll be licking it here all the way down to Gatwick and back, I bet, but that'll be a fun day. So that's it. So this is me signing off until next week. So have a good weekend, guys. See you soon. So this is what we're scraping off this fingerboard. And I've already done up to the 5th fret. Can you see this? That's all dead skin and sweat that's accumulated over the years. And we wouldn't normally take a guitar in that's as bad as this. We just say, look, I can't touch that, mate. Because look at this. That's dead skin and sweat and all manner of not goodness. But it's a friend, so I'll do it for him this one time. As gross as this is, it's not, I mean, it's not that bad. It's just we'd rather not have to do it. But I'm up to the end now. And that's, any that was anywhere is now off. I should have been wearing gloves, but I forgot to put my gloves on. So let me just get a piece of tissue here. And we're going to clean the blade because we'll use that blade again. proper clean later. And this is just going to brush all that crap off. Look, I'm going to tip it off and brush it off. So that piece of blue gubbins under there we'll get rid of in a moment. But I may as well finish the guitar off while there's all this unscowl and badness on there. And while I'm at it, I can have a look, see how straight the neck is, and see if any frets need work. I can also check on here if there's anything I've missed. And because the lights are so good in here now, there's a couple of bits I've missed, so we can just give them a little tickle. I do know the owner of this will be gross start himself. He will never send me anything like this again. He's a good lad. He'll be shot. So there you go, that's the fingerboard. Scraped. Not a job anyone enjoys doing. But we need to avoid this in the future by changing the strings every 6 months and putting some oil on the neck and giving it a wipe over. You know, let's not let our guitars get in this state. I think we're just about done. That looks pretty good. And that looks a lot better. Once we've got this all oiled up, it's going to look fantastic. So I'm just going to brush all this crap off here. I may have to just come in to these edges. Again, this is just a base Stanley blade. Just scrape off anything that's lurking on the edge of the frets. That's looking a lot better. There was quite a bit of fret wear down here as well, but not enough to warrant a fret job or anything yet. So I'm saying that's disgusting. Yeah, it is. Right, so there you go. So I'm going to give this a spray of oil and let the oil do its stuff. I want to find out which way the nozzle's pointing. I'm going to put a lot on here, and I'm not going to do anything with this. Just going to let it soak in, because I'm going to wipe all this off in a bit with all the crap that's with it. And this fingerboard then will come up looking like, no, it's got a lot of wear in this. There's some divots in there, so he's given this guitar some hammer, so he's played it, just not cleaned it. But there you go. I'm going to leave that 5 to 10 minutes before I wipe that off. And that's all good. I'm going to give this a proper clean. Might as well rip this off now. Clean that blade up, because I can use that blade again. This out of the way. We may as well clean the guitar with some oil. A couple of squirts on there. This is not going to hurt anything. It's going to do it more good than bad. Get some on the bridge as well. We can use oil to clean the guitar, how's that? So we'll leave that a few minutes, we'll get that all wiped off, then I'll come back and I'll check the frets in a short while. And now we have the neck clean. I've just straightened the neck by altering the truss rod at this end, 4mm adjuster on that end. And I've just been across with a fret rocker, just checked if there's any high frets. There were a couple of high frets. This one, all I've done is just gone along and tapped them in with the nylon side of a fretting mallet, like so. And all of the frets are now level. There is some pitting on the frets, there's quite a lot of wear, so it's had heavy use, this guitar, which is great, it's what they're for. But these frets, that was a little bit high there. These frets are all now level, so if I go, that's a little bit high there. So what we're going to do is again, just tap, knock them back in, that's fine. So these frets are level down the whole length of the neck. And I had to hit one up this top end. So we've got no rocking up here at all. There was quite a bit of back bow on the neck itself though, so the truss rod may have been a little bit tight. I'm still going to just tighten it a nip like that, so we've got a little bit of back bow in there. Once I get the strings on, this neck should straighten out really nice and then it should be set up perfectly. Moving on guys, we have all of the fingerboard nicely cleaned up. We have it re-oiled. I've knocked the frets back level. There were a couple a little bit high. We're just going to check with a fret rocker. Let me explain what a fret rocker is. It has 4 edges. Now this is precision flat. All these edges are precision flat. It's done on a milling machine. It's super accurate. And we have 4 different lengths, so we can always check just 3 frets. And if we get a rock on this, we know there's a high fret in the middle, so we always do 3. So we're just moving across, and when we get out of space and we can no longer do 3, this is when we turn the gadget over, like so. And so far we have no high frets because I've hammered any high ones back down. We turn again, you see how it works. So these frets are level, and I've not had to touch any of them. Now, I'm glad I've not had to touch any of them because a few are pitted. They have a few deep grooves down there, and that's a lot of work, and it's an expensive job when you're working on frets as well. Now, don't forget this one is a freebie for a friend. A little bit of pitting down this end, a little bit of wear on the frets, but nothing major. Plenty of wear in the fingerboard with some grooves in there, which is great to see. It means the guitar is played a lot, but just look at how beautiful it looks now. It's beautifully clean. I've cleaned the body. We've cleaned up all the gunk and the horribleness off the fingerboard. We've re-oiled it, so it's nicely treated, nicely cleaned, nicely level. It had a real good scraping, it needed it as well. But we're ready now to put some new strings on. So I'm going to grab me a set of my preferred strings. I've got some left here. What we got there? That's Elixirs Dragon Skin by DR. These are coated strings, handmade in America. These are the only strings I use myself. I've got 1 pack left in there. These are a double pack, you get 2 in a pack if you shop around. I've got a pack in there. I'm going to stick a set of these on. It's going to take me a while. This is a super light gauge, or it's not super light, it's just a light gauge, 10 to 48 as it says on there. These are the only strings I play on an acoustic. I need to go and get some more, but I've got 2 sets left. So I'm going to order myself some more of these. I charge £10 for a set of these, which is about right. So I'm going to stick these on this guitar, and these strings should last you easily a year. When I first started using these, I think I started using them around about 2014 when I started playing worship in the church I was in at the time. So it's 8 years now, and the first set I had them on for about 14 months, and they were still ringing out a beautiful tone. So it's a testament to how good they are. So let's have a look. I'll start with 6th and 3rd. And yeah, these are brilliant. And they're a nice colour as well. Look at that. Beautiful. So I'm going to wang these on. I'm going to do it off camera because it's going to take me a while. I will come back when they're on and we'll have a look at the state of the setup. Something I like to do when I'm restringing is, while I get my strings on, I like to check these nuts that hold in the tuners. And that one's quite loose. I think it's a 10mm spanner. And see how loose that was again. And this really, if these aren't tight, you don't have to go mental. But if these aren't tight, your tuner's going to be all out and your strings are going to slip. So I bet these have never been done on this one before. And there you go, it's a 10mm spanner, as you can see, and they are all done. That's nice. Also, check the tuners for tightness. So check they're not too loose. That is a little bit, that's a little bit loose. So just tighten these ends up. That's a lot better. Just check. Just give it a little nip because it may work, we do work loose. That was really loose. In fact, that was nearly falling off. There you go. And this one's nearly falling off as well. It's so loose. Look at that. Still loose. It's better. It's a little bit too tight. That's good. And there you go, that's good. Something else you can check as well, we can flip the guitar over. It's alright, we don't have any other locks on the other side, that's good. So we've tightened all of these, we've tightened the ends as well, so they're all nice and smooth now, and they're not too loose. So I'm going to crack on, get these strings on, and I'll bring you back in a short while. With the strings on and stretched in, we're now going to look at the action. I've looked at the action, it is quite high, but I can't remove anything from a saddle at the bridge end because of the brake angle going down to the string pins. So the only way we can really alter anything is by straightening the neck with a truss rod, which I've already done, and by cutting the nut slots, which I'm about to do now. So we can lower the strings at the nut end, probably a little bit more than you realise. As long as the string clears the fret and there's enough room for it to vibrate there. So normally I like on the bass side, I like about 0.25, but I'm going to cut it to 0.3. So we're going to go 0.3mm on the bass side, 0.2mm on the treble side. That's the space from the top of the fret to the bottom of the string. So we're going to have a quick look, see where we are with this E string. I'm going to go 0.3 because that's where I want to be. So here's my 0.3mm feeler gauge. I'm going to have a look, and we are a good 1/2 mil higher than that. And the same with these strings, we can bring them all down considerably. When it comes to the treble side, probably not so much, but these strings are really high. There's a big gap there. Good thing about it is it's going to lower the action at this end as well, at the fatter end of the neck, and it's going to make the guitar, especially at this end, it's going to make it so easy to play. You're hardly going to have to press down here to play a chord or play the notes, but we need to make sure we leave enough gap so the string can vibrate, because it doesn't vibrate just left and right, it also goes up and down. So we need to make sure we don't go too deep. I could go to about 0.25 if I wanted to this side, and about 0.15 on that side, but I always err on the side of caution. 0.3 down to 0.2, so I'm going to crack on with that. I'll show you how I do it in a minute. Just going to check my phone. Okay, so let's check where we are. So I have the number of the strings, or what gauge they are, in front of me. This is a 10, 14, 22, 30, 38, 48. Now I don't have exact ones. So I've got a 10 for a 10. I don't have a 14, so I'm going to use a 13. Now the 13 and the 10, I have on these Stumac holders, like so it stops them wibbling about. So you can file straight. So for 14 I'll use a 13, and I'll slightly angle it each side just to flare it open a little bit. The 22, the closest I've got is a 24, so I'll go with 24. When it comes to the 30, I've got a 32, close enough. 38, I don't have a 38, I don't have a 42, but that's too wide. So I'm going to use a 36, and I'm going to flay it wide again. But when it comes to the 48, I'm going to use a 50. In fact, I'm going to use a 50 first. So let me just try and get this thing out of its bag. There you do, there you go. So there you go, 0.05 of an inch, I imagine that is. Yes it is. This is my Hosco set, made in Japan, stainless steel, fantastic set. They're not cheap, 125 quid for this set, but they are remarkable in as much as they stay sharp, as long as you clean them. And I do clean mine after every job. So look, we'll see where we are with this string. Okay, this string being a 48, we're going to hit it with a 50. And we've got quite a bit of material we can remove from the nut there, so we're just going to bring it over, filing level with the neck. And don't go mental, take your time, because if you go too deep, you're replacing the nut. I think we'll have this plugged into the tuner, which we have, and we'll just keep checking everything. We can still go a little bit more, so let's go a little bit more. That should be enough, I think. Don't take too much off. If you take too much material out, you'll be recutting the knot, putting a new one on. Very, very close there. So let's just go a little bit more, clean the file. Nice and steady with this again. Like I say, if you remove too much material, you've got to take the nut out, replace it, and that's going to cost time and money. And you'll be infuriated because it is a lot of work. That is the E string done, I would say. We're just listen for a little buzz here. So we'll go a tiny bit more. Perfect. So move on to the next one. We'll go back 0.3 there, 0.28, 0.26, 0.24, 0.22, 0.2. So we're gradiating down ever so slightly. We don't need to remove a lot of material from that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that we must clean the file after each cut before we put it away. And this way your files will stay sharp. One's done with, so we're going to measure again the A string. Don't need to remove a lot of material from this. Now check the size, 38. I have a 36, and what we're going to do with the 36 is I'm going to cut to depth. I'm just going to slightly angle it that way, slightly angle it that way, and that should accommodate the 38. Let's see where we are. More of a buzz from this one. Sounds perfect to me. Let's try it with 0.25. If we get a gentle buzz on a 0.25, I'm also happy with that. So let's see where we are. Perfect. First hit. We've got that straight. We've got that one done right straight away. Really happy with that. Clean the file. Put it away. So the next one is the 0.30 where we have a 32. Now we're going to hit this with the 25 feeler gauge because we need this to be like 0.24. We may not have to touch this. I don't really think we have to touch that one. That is not high at all, that is more or less. That's fine where that is, we don't have to touch that one. So we'll go and check this one, we're about 0.24, so we're going to want... We don't have to touch that one, which is great. We have to touch the 10, the 14's fine as well, so we don't have to touch these three, 1, 2, 3, they are low enough. So we're just going to hit the 10, because that is quite high. So it's 0.2 on the far side. There's my 0.2 gauge. Let's see where we are. We'll also check the 14 as well. There's nothing in that. So we're going to hit the 14. We're going to hit that with a 13 file because it's the closest I've got. Don't need to remove a lot of material, just a small amount. So now, like I say, the 13 and the 10 are in these holders. So the 13, we're just going to go in, give it one good swipe, and we're just going to come in at an angle like that, and like so, and that will be enough. Not even going to measure that because I know that's enough. The 10 doesn't even really need doing. I'm going to give that just a swipe, same as I did with the 13. 1, 2, 3, and that is enough. I know that's enough. And that is that done. And there we are, friends, we are all done with this lag. Tramontane T70 DC-E. D will be dreadnought, C will be cutaway, and E will be electric. So there you go, what a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it just needed a really good clean. It was in an awful state. But what we've done is we've knocked some frets back level. We've scraped the fingerboard, got all the gunk and the crap off there. We've reconditioned the fingerboard. We've gone and checked the frets again. So they had the full treatment. I've set the action a little bit lower by cutting the nut slots. So it's had a complete setup. We've checked every nut and bolt, tightened everything up where it needed tightening, and the guitar is set up beautifully. I've got a tiny bit of relief in, well, not a tiny bit, I've got about 0.2 millimeters at the 5th fret, which is fine, and the guitar just looks fantastic. Sounds great. So there you go, that is all ready to go. So before I do go, I just need to remind you of my website, which is facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVENI Victor. I am your friend. And until next time, as always, God bless you, be good to each other, and I'll see you in the next one.